Dashing detective Tamil movie Stony Lines. Thupparivaalan in Tamil title. The film starts with Divakar and his family celebrating his birthday. A sudden lightning strike kills him and his son and burns them to death. At a movie theater, a man gropes a woman, and a small commotion ensues, which was stopped by ACP Paul Dhanarajan, who later dies in the middle of a police conference. The plot shifts to Detective Kanyan Poongundran, who lives with his associate Manohar. They both come across Malika through a pickpocketing incident where she gets caught. Later, she comes to work as a housekeeper at Kanyan's house. One day, a schoolboy, Naveen, visits Kanyan and Manohar with the case that his pet German Spitz, inaccurately identified as a Pomeranian, Nemo, was shot dead and asked them to find the killer. Naveen gives them the bullet from Nemo's body. Kanyan finds that it is a 9mm bullet which had been ricocheted from Nemo. At the crime scene, he finds a tooth, whose owner is traced to be Swarnavel, who was formerly a university physics professor who divorced his wife because he blamed her for the death of their son. Most recently, he was living alone and working as a stockbroker. Meanwhile, a shady man named Kamilesh visits a travel agency to deliver a sofa stashed with money to 5 people who run the agency and who are believed to be assassins: Devil, Muthu, Preeta, a stout man, and a bald man. Kanyan recollects a news article about an incident that involves the deaths of Divakar and his son and goes to Mrs. Divakar's house, where she reveals that thunder occurred in the beginning, followed by lightning, which struck Divakar and their son. Kanyan also finds that Swarnavel was present at a nearby construction site on the day of the incident. He then concludes that it was artificial lightning devised by Swarnavel to kill Divakar. When the assassins learn that Kanyan is on their tail, Devil disposes of the body of Swarnavel, who was killed earlier. Kanyan and Manohar visit Divakar's office and learn that a tender which was to be awarded to Divakar is now with Ram Prasad, the chairman and head of the company that Divakar competed with. Before they could reach Ram Prasad, he is assassinated. Infuriated that their client Ram had to be killed, Kamilesh hires Chinese mercenaries to kill Kanyan under the pretext of inviting him and Manohar to a Chinese restaurant. Kanyan defeats them and finds out about Kamilesh's involvement, but Kamilesh is seduced and killed by Preeta before they arrive, but Preeta is seen by Kanyan while leaving. A police chase occurs as Preeta and the bald man try to escape but are later cornered from all sides. Soon after, the bald man kills himself by performing seppuku, allowing Preeta an opportunity to escape the scene. The next day in a shopping mall, Preeta makes a failed attempt to kill Kanyan.
Police Inspector Madhivanan and ACP Vijay Iyengar in a hotel, where yet another failed assassin attempt is made. Muthu plans to inject Kanyan with a poison dart, but Manohar was caught in the crossfire and is rushed to the hospital. They learn that Manohar was hit by the same dart as Paul. Kanyan goes to the theater to confirm this and gets to know that on the same day, 3 tickets were booked by the same person but in different rows. He gets the address from the credit card details. They raid the travel agency, and Devil kills Muthu to cover his tracks. They find some physics books related to lightning as well as a machine that generates artificial lighting. Kanyan receives a threat via SMS, saying that his beloved ones are in danger. He ensures that Manohar is safe in the hospital, but could not save Malika in time as she was stabbed by Devil. She pickpockets his mobile when he stabs her, through which Kanyan gets to know about the inspector who is keeping Devil informed about all the moves and status of the investigation. It is later revealed that Madhivanan was an informer for Devil. Kanyan, Manohar, and a police team go in search of Devil to a mangrove forest. All of them die except Kanyan, Manohar, and Vijay Iyengar. Later, Kanyan and Vijay Iyengar are both caught by Devil, as he blackmails them using Naveen, who was also kidnapped by Devil. Tied by a rope, Kanyan reveals how he managed to uncover Devil's backstory and tells him that the police have been informed of the same. Infuriated by this, Devil tries to stab Kanyan, but Manohar manages to untie him just in time. In the ensuing scuffle, Kanyan gains the upper hand despite their more or less equal size and skill in hand-to-hand combat. Eventually, Ian kills Devil. In his dying moments, Devil tells Naveen that he is sorry for killing Nemo. Later, as Naveen returns home from school one afternoon, he finds a Pomeranian puppy along with a note bearing Ian's name in a basket at his doorstep. Detective-based movie in his own form of visual poetry. It is obviously seen as a form of inspiration from Sherlock Holmes. Realistically fine, but in visual and entertaining aspects are there some lags. Director implies in his first few scenes, Sherlock Holmes is fiction, but his visual representation of ambience created for lead resembles more like that in Sherlock Holmes, which makes it alienated. Instead of showing him in a form more like Sherlock Holmes, he can be shown like ordinary detective visually, to avoid prejudicial expectation created from such images. Visual performed well as an actor, but in some places, it seems like his performance does not fit in glove with what stories demand. Scope for % is little. Little more scope should be given to scenes of inductive and deductive reasoning with awe-striking brilliance, which would have made the movie hold audience on. Perhaps the case of false forensic report shall be given some brief sequence.